go? You are joking me. Where did you go? Okay, here you go. Well, let's not do that again, shall we? There. Now, can you see me if I sit here? Look at that. Here we are. You can come and hang out in my little spot out here in the on the shady deck. It's not cold out. We had ice that wouldn't melt, but it's above freezing. There's no ice out here anymore. I thought it was cold part of the day today. I guess it warmed up all day or something. I guess that's what it always does, isn't it? So, here we are. That bit of a shade. What is class? Oh, it's a shadow from this bookcase you're sitting in. I have to always put my hair so it goes over my ears. Otherwise I get cold. There we go. Not really situated yet. It's very nice out here. I like it. I had a very nice day today. Did you? Yeah, I was working on I put a door on my grass hut. Like, that's really cool. It's a teepee shape, right? So the door, the opening was between two of the poles. The whole thing was open. Well, no, I did do it part way down. So that was done, and that had grass on it. So I found a couple sticks. I showed you that. I found a couple of sticks and I laid them on against the opening, the outside edge, and they crossed at the top. So I said, that's going to be my door. And then I went down. I was kind of, I went down. I took you along, and you were able to come today. We walked down the hill, and then we went around the pond, and I stopped, and I tied you up on a tree. Hope you didn't mind, but I think you were able to see. Anyway, and I cut some really long willow, the longest ones, the biggest I had. They're really long. Like, this is quite phenomenal to have a willow like that's 3 yards long and straight. Like, that's really cool. Anyway, so I cut a handful of them, and then I started by lashing, like the Girl Scout lash. You go over, under, and I did that at the beginning, and then I did it again, but I twisted it in between so it would take up the space. And anyway, I got down far enough that then I could put in all those poles. So I was just doing that on the 2 side sticks. So now I started down here, and then I was using the shortest ones at the beginning because that's not very far, but you have to make sure it goes all the way around and the other one goes all the way, because otherwise they're not going to hold together, and you don't want them to spring open. So they have to be pretty long, even though it's a short distance. Anyway, it was awesome to work on it, and then I stuck in my long poles. And I kind of stuck them in like this, they were all together at the top. They were like 3 groups, and they were all together in there, and so I was weaving them as groups, and then along with the poles, and then and you have to make sure you don't, you're tempted to do one of those things like that on the far pole, the poles, and it'll just hold by tension, but it's a door. You've got to make sure it doesn't come off sideways or anything. So I did them as well as I could. Some of the willows quite hard to bend, but I did it. Anyway, and then so I got these other ones up in there, and then I was just weaving across, and then after a while the opening got bigger, so then I splayed them all, and then I started weaving them all, or groups, but they were, until I had them all splayed at the bottom. And then, excuse me, believe it or not, I could lift up one side, and it would lift like it's a triangle. So when I lifted it, it worked. It's up like this, but it rotated. It's really hard to show when you're over there. Anyway, so I tied one pole. I tied to the teepee itself, to the teepee pole. So I lashed that on and went into the weaving with it too. And then I realized once I'd done it that it would have been better if it had been another foot higher, but I'd already lashed it on in 6 places. But if I wait until I go down there again, I'll be able to unlash it from the pole, scoot it up, and lash it again. The thing is that when you're in it and it's too much work to do, I was into the whole process. So I got those sides on, and then I started cutting grass, and I didn't realize it was going to be so easy to cut the grass. It's very dry and standing. Some of it was bent way over, but the thing about it, it's all bent way over together. So when you're cutting it, you can still cut all the clumps, and then you just push it a little bit with the tool, and then you cut again, and then push it and cut again, and so then you get to the end, and you've got this huge long bundle. That canary grass, it's about the top of the tassel is taller than me, so I'd say it's 6 feet, maybe 6.5 feet. It's quite high, and you can get lost in there, right, in the summer. But when it gets bent over, and then you've got this 6.5 foot piece of grass, which is a sturdy piece of grass. It's canary grass. Look that up. I guess it's invasive, but I love it because I can build with it. Anyway, so after it lays down, it continues to grow, like finding the light, and it'll grow another meter. So you're getting this grass up, and you're picking it up, and you figure the end of the grass is going to be about here, but no, you have to keep on, and finally you dislodge the grass from the rest of the standing grass. Anyway, so I started by putting it on the bottom of my frame, my door, the framed, the framed. You see, when you think of a door frame, right? You think of just that, but it's all the foundation, the weaving back and forth. Like these are tall, long ones, and these are going across. And so it makes a good surface for the grass. And you know what? Because there's no cross piece at the bottom, when you open it, it tends to roll. It's like rolling the pillow out of the way or something. Anyway, it tends to fold up, is what I'm saying. But anyway, once I got the grass on there, it doesn't fold up as much. But if I don't want it to, I just have to put a stick across the bottom and lash that to everything. I'll probably do that. That's probably the right thing to do. My biggest concern, so I got the bottom done, and then I got some more done, and then I was just pushing them up into the framing, into the weaving. But it doesn't keep all the light out. Like it's got gaps along the side, and the grass is not thick. And I did that on purpose because I want to be able to see out. But then as I was sitting in there with it closed and I could see out, that wind was really harsh today. There was a lot of wind, and it was cold. Oh, excuse me. And so then I put more grass on it. And I can add more grass if I want later. You see, it doesn't have to be all done right now because I don't know what I'm going to want. I don't know what I'm going to need. But this is an awesome project. It's so cool. It's taken two years, I did it last summer I worked on it. But you can't really do this stuff until late in the season because you've got to have your grass really tall, right? Maybe you don't need it 10 feet tall. It does get it blows and tangles with each other. It's not a flat surface that will just completely repel the moisture. But I'm figuring there's enough layers that it doesn't really get through. But I took a whole bunch of willow and I hid it. a willow switch, you know, about going out behind the woodshed with the willow switch. Anyway, so oops. So I bundled the willow that was left over, and I whacked it on the grass to flatten it. You know, it was, I would say, sticking out like that. So I was trying to, but there was a lot of pieces that were further out. So I tried to beat them down a bit. Now it wasn't blowing with the wind. The wind was not coming sideways against it. It was coming right on. It was actually, yeah, coming right on, right out of the pond. So when I was sitting in there before I had a door on, it was really cold and windy, and was tempted, you know, to go get down low under there and lie down on the grass bed. But I didn't. No. I sat in my chair for a while, and then I went out and I got to work. You know, somebody said, I hope I can always work. I hope I can always do stuff like this, because it really gives me a lot of joy. I feel so good looking at it from the house, looking down across there, and I don't see this big black opening anymore. It's just all teepee, all grass, all the way around. My biggest concern, which I was going to say before, is that the ice, when the snow gets on there and starts to melt and refreeze, I think there's a chance that the grass will get frozen here and I won't be able to open it. But, you know, and of course it's going to get snow on it. But I think I can manage that. I might need to put some cross pieces in it. And one of them that sticks out far, so it can be my handle to raise it up, to open it out. I just love having my grass hut teepee. Somebody gave me the biggest compliment today. I'll tell you what she said. She said, I've been watching your channel for many, many years. I've watched you make soap. She named a few other things that I can't remember at the moment. And cleaning windows with newspapers. And that she watches a lot of other YouTubers. And that, and out of all the YouTubers that she watches, I'm the most interesting. Really? That's phenomenal. Anyway, I'm the most interesting of all these YouTubers. Don't break your arm patting yourself on the back, Nancy. Anyway, and she said, and I'm looking forward to the next 21,000 videos. Influencers, their thing is about how many viewers see one video. I really, I'm really quite unattached to that. I think that it's cool if somebody wants to see it. It's cool if a bunch of them want to see it, but you never know what they're thinking, right? Like they might be admiring you, they might be jealous, they might be irritated, they might think that you're an idiot, they might be, you know, all kinds of negative things instead of positive things. And so it doesn't really matter how many people watch my videos. I'd rather people are happy. People that watch them are happy to watch them, and it gives them something. You know, I think that's quite important. And as I said, I don't make money from the videos. At one time I did, but you know, I didn't like people having to watch ads. I just thought that was not a very nice thing to do to your friends. You know? Here, watch this ad so I can have money. I didn't think that was very nice. Then you're not my friends. Then you're my customers. Anyway, I never got, you know, that divide between me and you. What is it? What is it called? Self-other. I think we're all important. We're all equal. We all deserve praise and love and sometimes a little bit of reprimand. I hate reprimand. But if it's done very nicely, you know, if I'm told very nicely. Of course on YouTube, you know, the comments I get, the reprimands I get on there, somebody said the other day about, hey, I didn't finish telling you what I was going to tell you. I'll finish this first, and if I remember that, we'll do that. But if I don't remember it, I'm sure we'll be having some other very interesting conversation. Boy, do I miss Mary. She was so much fun. Anyway, um, oh yeah, so she said about the next 21,000 videos. And I thought, now, if I make 21,000 more videos, anyway, I said, well, it took me 17 years to make all of them. Do you realize this is 17 years I've been making videos? 17? I started in 2006. That's when YouTube started. It was a year old or almost a year old or something. It had just been bought. It had just been sold. And I thought it was YouTube. I had no idea it was spelled out. I heard about it on the radio. It had just been sold, and they were interviewing these two guys who were brothers, and they would talk to each other only by video, and they would make a video every day and send to each other, just talking about interesting things that were on their minds. And I was fascinated, and I thought, I could do that. And so I plunged in. YouTube was not a big thing. It was, there were not many big things really. I mean, this was back in the days of AOL and Yahoo. And you remember GeoCities? I made a GeoCities website once for homeschooling. I thought this is really nice. Of course, I don't know if anybody ever saw it or used it or anything. I doubt it. I didn't publicize it, and there was, you know, but I had quickly learned that the way to find something on the internet was you type in, if it's a company you want to get, you would type in the name of the company.com. And if it was an educational place, like a university, it would be .edu. And then but that's all there were at the beginning that I knew about. Eventually I learned about .gov, and then .org. I think the church's website, which is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.org is the website. Anyway, so I was thinking, okay, so it took me 17 years to make 21,000 videos. Okay, so let's think about that. I get this wrong every time. What is going on here? How old am I? 86. No, Nancy, you're 68. And it comes next time, and I'm trying to figure something out. I'm 86. Wait a minute, Nancy. You can't just skip 18 years, right? But anyway, that's about how old I'll be if in 17 years. And I thought, you know what? I'll still be making videos. I'll be lying in a hospital bed with my hat on with all the flowers all around saying, hello, it's Nancy today. And I'll be in a hospital bed, and all the things will be going, and about almost ready to flatline, but not quite. And and I'll have a flowery hat, and I'll be waving goodbye. You can do this at home. Results may differ. You saw it here last. Anyway, and I said I hope that there's still garden dirt under my fingernails. Anyway, that's what it'll be like in 17 more years when I have gotten now to 42,000 videos. Oh, my goodness. Life is fun, isn't it? I've been playing a lot of Minecraft, but on my defense, it was something to do while I have to sit. But I sat more than I had to sit. Yeah, so well, we'll talk about something else now. I've been really enjoying playing Minecraft, and I'm really enjoying making these Minecraft lessons for seniors or for grandmas, Beginner's Minecraft for grandmas. Because all the grandchildren play it. And if you can play it with your grandchildren, it's really fun. Sometimes. Sometimes they kind of order you around and you become the servant. Okay, Grandma. Can I'm going to make a village of every color. So it's taking me a long time to put down all these white blocks. So can you come and help? Okay. White. It was like the edge of the world. And so he just kept building off the edge of the world. And he said it's kind of hard because it keeps falling through. He's made this machine. You click a button and you have sheep falling from this block. Sheep, 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 sheep. Bah, bah. They're all going everywhere. What a mind. He's really got things figured out. And he's got this whole line of command blocks, which you have to write code for. This whole line of them, and 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 a and a sign on each one that says uh, change to day, change to night, change to change to clear, change to sunny. Each command block. So then you push the button on the command block and away it would go and it would just change it. I guess he had to keep going into settings to change it to daytime or something. So now he's just got a command block. You push the button. I know, command blocks. You probably don't know what I'm talking about. But you might, you guys might be smarter than I think. You're smarter than you've ever been, and now you're even smarter, and now you're even smarter, and now you're even smarter. You're smarter than you've ever been, and now you're even smarter, and now you're smarter still. Time is marching on, and time is still marching on. You're older than you've ever been, and now you're even older, and now you're even older, and now you're even older. You're older than you've ever been, and now you're even older, and now you're older still. Oh, by the way, I'm only going to be, I was going to say 86. I'm only going to be 68 for 1 year. That's it. 1 year at being 68. I'm just going to give it a try. What do you think? I think I can do this. Yes, indeed. You know those late night comedy shows? Aren't they hilarious? There's some really good comedians on there. I like the clean stuff, right? I'm a grandma. I'm very traditional. We have a traditional family. Mom and dad, married with 5 kids. Well, it's not quite traditional because he does have 4 more kids. So that's sort of a blended family. But I never raised his kids. We all were together for just a few months, but I raised my 5. Anyway, so we're a pretty traditional family. We went to church on Sundays and had family home evening and family scriptures and family prayer. But it was more like a family fight. Like family home evening was like a family fight that began and ended with prayer. Once you had kids that did not want to do it, I do not want to be interrupted. Leave me alone. No, I'm not going to do that. Life. Anyway, I've had a really good life. I like my life. I love that I could get a deck all the way around my house. And it doesn't have to be everywhere and make it all dark. It's just in the certain areas where we need a deck. Going in and out to get the wood. Sitting out here in the shade when it's a hot day. Sitting on the front porch when it's beautiful and it's warm and in the sun. Poor Willem. Having to be married to me. It's quite the thing. You know, this is a beautiful room, wooden roof and beams. I have this big light over there. It's a construction light, you know, with three big lights, and you can turn them and you can rotate them and put them so they face one way, but the other one will either look at the floor or look straight up or be looking the other direction. Maybe it's supposed to just illuminate the bottom of a tree. It's illuminating the ceiling very well. Too bad you can't see it. You know, this is quite nice not to having to hold you. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. I don't know how to play that one. I want. I can't. I can't hide. There we go. That was that song. I like that one. That's Lead Thou Me On. starting to slide up, messing up all those notes. That was the reason. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I'm a very good player. You see, if I repeat that enough times, then you'll believe it, because that's gaslighting, right? I'm a very good player. I am a very good player. You see, now you all believe it. Thank you very much. I did it. I think I messed up part of that. I think I chopped off a bunch of the song. I can't turn my head that way for that long. I gotta do it this way. But I want to look that way. That's the thing. Somebody said something. Hello, hello. I can't read it from here. I can't read it from there. forget how it goes. I could have danced all night. I only know when he began to dance with I only know when he began to dance with me. I could have danced and danced all night. There were other verses to that. I don't remember any more of that one. Henry Higgins, Henry Higgins. All I want. Oh, that's why I have to drink, because my elbow won't make it around there. Oh, I don't know. Somewhere in there is that note. But it's hiding. Trouble is, when I'm trying to find a note, if I'm searching for a note, by the time I find that note, or by the time I'm 2 or 3 notes away from the song, I have no idea what whereabouts in the song I am, and I may have even forgotten what song I'm singing or playing. There's a reminder up there on my phone. It's been taking a while to get ready for winter, you know. There's a lot to be done around the house. We had the deck full of furniture, you know, every area with a beautiful view got a chair, or maybe a few. And tables, you know, and then there's all the wheelbarrows and the hoses and the shady deck or shady tarp thing and a frame and all the furniture that was under it and the lawnmower. So I made this little area. I used all this boards everywhere, and I just took the corner of the deck and I laid them across the railing, across the corner. And then I put everything in it, and I put some steel roofing pieces in there, sheets of roofing behind and by the slats along the railing, so that the snow and wind and rain can't get in. It probably can. Everything does. Doesn't matter what you do. Everything gets wet. Or so am I. What's that sound? Is that rain? There's wind, and there's the very loud crickets in my ears. My tinnitus. Katydids. The cicadas are singing, "It must be a lovely day." Here comes the wind. Could hear this little tick tick as if it was rain, little drops of rain. That is not going to work. well, that's not gonna work. I really like that song. I wonder if I could play it and sing at the same time. I, 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 go walking in That was interesting. I have never been able to play and sing at the same time. But I did it. Ha! I wonder if I can do it with everything. Okay, let's see if we can do this with the next one. Just to erase that last song, which is this. Okay, oh, come let me. How does that go? Oh. I can sing at the same time as I play. That is cool. Do you know what that means? It means more reasons for the kids not want me to play it. Go away. Okay. Next. Whoa. When you're 86. Those two were the same. Here we stand like birds in the wilderness. That was one of the things that we sang before we ate at camp. The other one was Johnny Appleseed. How did that go? Johnny Appleseed. Oh, I thank thee for the sun, the rain, and the apple seed. The Lord's been good to me. The Lord's been good to me. Or something like that. Maybe it's bugs. No, it's rain. Not raining very much. I think it's getting past my bedtime. I'm 86, you know. 68, Nancy. Just say it. 68. Do you know I started playing my violin when I was 52, and I never thought I'd be able to do it. And I didn't practice very often, Sometimes I'd practice for, once a week for a few months, but mostly I would just practice once a month, maybe. Sometimes I get into it a little more often, but so it wasn't really like I practiced more when I first got it. But even so, with that little amount of practice, I was 52, 62, 68, so that's 16 years. For 16 years, I've had a violin, and I try and keep it handy. It's never been put in the closet and gone. It's always been in the room where either it's open or it's handy. It's never been in the closet. So I guess, when I don't practice it, I think I should. So it's always every time I look at it. So for 16 years, even though I have not been a diligent practicer, once I figured out that I could learn how to play by ear and I didn't need music, then it opened everything up. So I tried to learn the different sounds and the order of the sounds and where they were, and just pick it out by singing it or by something. And so in 16 years, somehow that amount of practicing that I did do has accumulated. So now I'm amazed that I'm really actually able to pick out these songs I've never played before. I've played some of them a lot. It's be after 9. Because that reminder thing comes up at about 9. I remember when I got this violin, I had no idea how to do it. Like, what do you do? It never occurred to me that you put your fingers on these like a guitar. Only it's much easier than a guitar because you only have to do one string for one note. And the next note is right next to it. And when you put your hand all the way to the top of, this is called the neck, and that's the frog. So you put it up to the frog, and the way your fingers naturally go on it, that's where they're supposed to be. What a miracle. I mean, that's pretty cool that your fingers just naturally go on those 3 spots, on those 3 spots, and those 3 spots. It's pretty cool. And those 3 spots. There are not just 9 notes, there are 12. 3, 6, 9, 12. Yes, that's the way it goes. It's gone. Thoughts that get into our heads. Oh, look you're still there. The phone was ringing. Do you hear it when the phone rings? Let's see. Well, hello everybody. It's been nice to see you. I hope you've enjoyed our little party. I think it's time to go to bed. My feet are getting cold.